Hello my friends, it's Ranger Russ from the Meigs Nature Center. I started a little early right behind me and he just stopped. There is a gull that's just making a real racket. It's actually really fun to listen to. Oh, there it goes, it's flying away now. I was hoping that you'd get to hear it. The gulls, they sound like they're laughing to me anyway. Although there is an actual specific laughing gull. The herring gulls, the blackbacks, they all sound to me like they're laughing a little bit. All right, so we are starting a little early, but that's okay. I just want to let everyone know, this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock, we've got a really special program about deer in Connecticut, and specifically, I think, a little bit more about their relation with the tick population in Connecticut. So you'll find out about deer and ticks and a little of everything that has to do with deer. That's this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock. You can sign up for the Zoom link if you visit meigspointnaturecenter.org and go to the calendar. You'll get to see the program live on Zoom. If you can't get in on Zoom, which we only allow 100 people or only have room for 100 people on Zoom, then you can watch it live on Facebook. It will be linked to Facebook as well. There are many programs coming up on Saturdays, and some of them are getting full already. So please, if you're interested in any of those programs and you want to see a steadier stream, which, you know, unfortunately Zoom is a more solid stream than Facebook can be sometimes, please sign up for those programs. Saturdays, 10 o'clock. And it's just about every Saturday, so expect to see a lot of great wildlife programs through March, and then we'll be switching over to some ecology environment programs and some plant programs, but for right now it's all about the wildlife of Connecticut, so make sure you tune in for that. These programs are going to continue Tuesday through Friday at 11 o'clock on Facebook Live. If you miss a program live, you can see it on our YouTube channel, the Meigs Point Nature Center YouTube channel, or in the archive, meigspointnaturecenter.org. Visit the Virtual Learning Center. You'll get to see the video plus some additional educational content. We have lots of content up there, so make sure you tune in and download some of that content. All right, let me flip the camera. And what we're going to be doing today, first of all, you're looking at a sand dune with some snow in it. The plants there are bayberry. Actually, I guess you can't see the bayberry from here. You can see the beach rose. The bayberry is more over there. Okay, so we have beach rose. There's some bittersweet up in there as well. You can see right now we still have snow on the beach. This is a rare thing at Hammonasset. The snow usually melts pretty quickly after it lands on the sand, and then the sun will heat the sand up. It's kind of like on pavement. Also, because of the wind coming off the water, very often the snow gets blown off of the beach, and we don't have as much snow on the beach. Just moments after it lands, it's getting blown back up onto the dune here. So we're going to take a look at the dunes. Now you see there's some tracks there, and judging by, let's take a look here, we've got a very large dog, and up here we've got a smaller dog. And I'm saying they're dog because I'm seeing a lot of human tracks here as well over here. So the humans are walking with the dogs, although one of them looks like it goes up into the dune there, so that's probably a dog off leash, which we don't really like to see people or their pets walking up on the dunes here. The dunes are fragile, unfortunately. They're extremely beneficial, but also very fragile, especially at this time of the year, when the plants are not growing and healthy and they're sort of dormant. Their roots are not going to be able to withstand people walking on them. So please stay off of the dunes no matter what the time of year. Now you can have your dogs out on the beach. You can see there's a couple of dogs coming down the beach. I'm having a really hard time seeing the screen because it's so bright. And now that I've walked around the corner, I've walked right into the wind. So the wind is coming right out of the west. Very strong wind today. It's 35 degrees here. The wind chill, I'm going to say, is going to drop it down. I was going to say no wind chill at all until you step around this corner. But now that I'm in the wind, we probably got a good 10-degree wind chill. So I should explain that, but I just noticed something on the ground there. If you remember, we had a bunker run in, and we're still finding the bunker. Now these have dried out and have been here for a very long time. The animals have picked through them, but we can still find bits of the bunker. Now what the bunker is going to do this coming spring, there's another one up above there, the bunker are going to act as fertilizer. The Native Americans used to bury fish with their seed to act as fertilizer. When we ran fish oil mills, the fish would be caught. It was bunker or menhaden, same fish. These would be caught offshore here, right here in Long Island Sound, brought into fish oil mills. Now there was a fish oil mill near Hammonasset. There was a fish oil mill located at Rocky Neck. So state parks, before they were state parks, were fish oil mills. These fish would be taken in, the oil would be rendered out of the fish, and then the fish would be ground up. The ground fish was then used for fertilizer. So the main product was the oil. That was where the value was, the fish oil. But then the rest of the fish was sent off to farmers and used for fertilizer. And to render the fish, I believe they just boiled out the oil out of the fish. All right, let's see. We've got some questions. Let's see. It says we may hit 30 degrees in southeast Michigan. Oh, it's cold over there. Highs in the teens or low 20s for several days. Wow. Yes, it is winter now. We are in February. I do feel that winter has shifted from January to February for the worst winter here to February and March were the worst winters or worst months of winter. All right, so a really neat thing, and I should probably go back to Rocky Neck. I did do a program over at Rocky Neck, which you can see in the archive in the Virtual Learning Center about the fish oil mill. Because this process was, as you can imagine, had a very strong odor to it. And the people in New London used to complain because they could smell the fish oil mill over at Rocky Neck. And that fish oil mill at Rocky Neck actually caught fire a couple of times. And they don't believe it was accidental. They think people didn't like the mill and they tried to burn it down. All right. What I'm going to do, first I want to show you this beautiful log that's washed up on the beach. The logs will wash up all winter long, and then in the spring, our crews will come out here and they haul these logs off. They'll cut them into smaller pieces and haul them off the beach so that when people come in the summer, it's not so that we're making a nice beach so that people can lay their blanket here, because some people would like to sit on a log, but it's so that our beach sweeper can go up and down the beach and clean the entire beach. If the log were to stay here, this would be a place for trash and debris to build up around the logs. So we take them off. Those up there, which have been there for a couple of years, those are not going to go anywhere. So those are far enough off of the beach up into the dune. They can stay up there. It's the ones that are down closer here. All right, I'm going to turn and we're going to walk, I think, towards the sun and away from the winds. going way below the rack line now. So you saw the high tide line is up there. We're going right down to the water's edge. Now, going back to the bunker. When the bunker run, you can see them right offshore here. 20 or 30 yards offshore, they'll be here. But now, this time of year, there shouldn't really be any bunker left in Long Island Sound. This water is too cold for them. So they should have moved on. And they think actually that that's one of the reasons that we had so many die off was because they didn't move south fast enough. Now what I'm going to do today, I'm really looking for moonstones. A moonstone is sort of a misnomer. There are many types of stone that can be considered moonstones. So here we've got a little quartz, but typically they'd say a moonstone, it's going to be fairly clear, a round stone that you can sort of see through. And I did at one time, many years ago, when I was in the old building, I had a gentleman come in and he had walked to the beach collecting moonstones. He made jewelry out of them. Unfortunately, I did inform him that you shouldn't be taking them off the beach, but I'm pretty sure he brought them home with him. But he had handfuls of these beautiful, they look like gems on the beach. We're gonna see if I can find another one here. Now when they're wet, they look a lot more clear than after they dry out. All right, so let's do an experiment. I'll show you this one like this, and then we'll get it wet. Need a wave here, there we go. It looks a lot better when it's wet. All right, here we've got another piece of quartz. And this has some iron in it. A lot of times the iron makes them orange. I'm not really seeing any. Look at that. Look at the color. This is actually algae. This is not the natural color of it. It's faded quite a bit. But look at that fluorescent pink color in that algae. This looks like dulse. It's just a little tiny torn off piece, so it's really hard to identify it. But dulse is a very thin red algae. That's really cool. When I first saw that, I thought it was trash. But when I picked it up, quickly realized. All right, let's see. We also have, there's some red man's beard or pirate's beard. That's a tubeweed. That's another red algae. Now the red algae are in the deepest waters. The brown algae are in a little shallower, and then the green algae, the shallowest water. That is a generalized term. Sometimes there's going to be a little bit of overlap, and you can't always say, you know, what deep water is and mid water is for these algae. So there is some overlap where you will find these. And I have talked about it. It's due to the nitrogen levels in the water that determine the look at that, there's another bit of pink. That's so amazing. It just shows up on the beach like it's glowing. So the nitrogen levels that cause the algae to grow at different depths. All right, now I was hoping that we would run into another gull. That gull was calling right when I began. But let's turn this way. Now this morning, there were no clouds in the sky. anywhere except over Long Island, which is way off over there. And you can see there's still some clouds over Long Island. But now we've got some clouds up in here. Now these are cumulus clouds. Those are light wispy clouds. They do not contain rain. They are, again, they're going to be moisture because they're clouds. But you're not going to get any rain from the cumulus clouds. And we've got some really beautiful skies. Let's just take a moment. I actually just found recently, yesterday, a cloud app where you take a picture of a cloud and it doesn't give you the exact type of cloud that it is, but it gives you a percentage of it being the cloud that it's identifying. So I've got to have to try it out. I've only used it twice now, and both times they were cumulus clouds. I will use that app a few times and let you know how accurate it is. And then when I actually use it a few times, I'll tell you what app it is as well. Because right now I honestly don't remember. Oh, here comes a gull flying by. That is a juvenile herring gull. Now, one of the things I want to do going forward is we are going to be paying more attention to the sky and the clouds. So I'm going to be doing weather, and I do need to get some sort of device to measure the wind speed. I'd really like to give you the wind speed. I had one a long time ago, but it broke, so I'll have to order another one. All right, we're going to head back up to where we started, and I can wrap up there. Hopefully I can find a place where I can read your questions and comments. I want to let everyone know, Hammonasset is open. We're open year-round. We are closed until the roads are plowed. So Tuesday we didn't open until about noon. So if you're trying to come down, please give us some time to plow all the roads before you come down. And it's the same with all the parks. But once those roads are plowed, you're more than welcome to come and visit the parks, enjoy the weather here. Bring your cross-country skis, your snowshoes, depending on how much snow and which park it is. Hammonasset's hard for skiing because we get so much wind, it blows these bare patches, and it's really going to mess with your skis trying to get across those. And your snowshoes as well. It's a little easier with snowshoes though. All right, look how beautiful the old building is with the flag flying. I want to thank our volunteers. They donated that flag there. Was donated. We get some pretty severe weather and it wears through our flags pretty quickly. Turn back to the flag. There we go. All right, let's take a quick second here and see what questions or comments we have. Is it an island or a breakwater you can see from the beach? Almost looks like a submarine. I'm guessing you're talking about Faulkner's Island. It does have a lighthouse on it. There were many shipwrecks off of between Faulkner's and the main coast of Connecticut, so they decided to put a lighthouse out there. And I believe it was Thomas Jefferson. No, I don't remember. One of the presidents visited when they were deciding on whether they would put a lighthouse on it. So I will have to check and see which president it was. All right, let's see if we have any other. Chester is watching. Love to sit on the beached logs. Like I mentioned, the ones that are up on the dunes, those will stay there. Tampa area, 60 degrees today, but sunny. Well, that's nice. All right. Karen says, my guys had noticed the bunker. So many. Thank you for talking about them. I might end up with a snowman on the beach. I think somebody's been out here building snowmen. I didn't see one today. Let's see what else we have. So I really appreciate all the questions and comments. Our friends group, I think they're putting together a survey to see what programs we want to go with. So for guest lectures and things like that, if there's anything that anyone's interested in, please let us know. Looked up bunker online, and there are other names for this fish. Yes, there are lots of names. Let's see if I can name a few. Hickory shad, peanut bunker, and Manhattan. And I believe that they are actually heron. They're in the heron family. So yes, there's lots of different names for the bunker. You know, it's funny, who said this? Pat mentioned about the island looking like a submarine, and I have had people come into the nature center and ask if the submarine ever moves or if it sits out there all the time, because they thought that it should be moving. With the right sunlight, it looks a lot more like a submarine sometimes than others, so it's not really unusual for people to think it's a submarine. Look how beautiful that old building is. And if you think about it this way, that building was originally built in 1821, and the footprint of the building is pretty much the same. The oldest photos we can find have, that's the shape of the building. It's got the little side porch dormer, I guess you would say, off the right-hand side, the little front porch. That's how that building looked when it was first built. And if you go into the basement, you can see the original stone of the foundation in most places is still there. Let's see. A place called Hope was on Channel 3 about the pelican. Yes, the pelican, I believe it is flying right now. So, or on the way to Florida. Okay. So yeah, the pelican is supposed to fly down to, I don't remember where it's going in Florida, but some former volunteers at a place called Hope and at the Meigs Point Nature Center now live in Florida, and they were going to see to its release in Florida. All right, if we don't have any more questions, I am going to sign off for today. I hope you enjoyed this quick little jaunt out onto the beach. It is chilly, and I need to get back to the center and get some other work done. Look for our programs tomorrow. I'll be doing a program probably from inside the Nature Center. I don't think I'm doing a traveling program this week. There's lots of stuff on the schedule, so I'll be sticking around the park tomorrow. Until then, this is Ranger Russ signing off, and you are all very welcome. I see all the thank yous, so you're all very welcome, and we'll see you tomorrow.